Hello friends, I am RM Garud. Today we are going to see the module number 2, compass surveying. In the previous lecture we have seen the terms used in the compass surveying. So today we are going to see the traversing. So traversing is that type of survey in which a number of connecting survey lines form the framework, and the direction and the length of survey lines are measured with the help of an angle measuring instrument and tape respectively. A traverse may be either open or closed as shown below. So on the left the closed traverse is shown, whereas on the right open traverse is shown. In case of open traverse, the starting point and end point meets, whereas in case of open traverse, starting point and end point never meets. Then we will see the principle of compass surveying. Traversing, which involves a series of connected lines. The magnetic bearing of the lines are measured by prismatic compass, and the distances of the lines are measured by chain. So survey line does not require the formation of network of triangles. Interior data are located by taking the offset from main survey lines. Sometimes subsidiary lines may be taken for locating these details. Compass surveying is not recommended for areas where local attraction is suspected due to the presence of magnetic substances like steel structures, iron ore deposits, electric cables, conveying current, and so on. Then we will see an open traverse. An open traverse begins at a point of known position and end at a station whose relative position is unknown. This type of traverse is frequently used for preliminary survey for highways. So this is an open traverse in which at station A the first bearing is taken, that is 60 degree 15 minutes. So it is the horizontal angle between the reference north direction and the line AB. Similarly, for others the bearings are shown for open traverse. Then we are going to see the closed traverse. It is a traverse which begins and ends at the same point whose position is known. An example of this type of survey is a perimeter survey of a lake or pond. So whenever we are supposed to locate the interior details, then we are supposed to follow the closed traverse. So in the given diagram, station A, B, C, D and E are shown, and the respective included angles are shown. And whenever we are considering the closed traverse, then sum of all included angles should be equal to 2n minus 4 into 90 degree. So this is one of the check to be considered while considering the closed traverse. So when we consider the traverse, it is a well-defined network of connected lines. The sides of traverse are known as traverse legs, and whenever we are doing the traversing work, we are going to take the length of lines, and even we are going to record what is the horizontal angle with respect to the reference north. A closed traverse may be of two types. One is closed traverse and another is open traverse. So closed traverse, it is going to form a closed loop, whereas open traverse connected lines extends along a general direction and it does not return to the starting point. Open traverse is suitable for the survey of roads, rivers, coastline, etc. So in this slide we are going to see what are the different methods of traversing, and these are the methods based on the instrument used. First is chain traversing, second is compass traversing, third is theodolite traversing, and fourth is plane table traversing. So this slide refers to check on angular measurement. So whenever we are going to consider the traverse, the sum of measured interior angles should be equal to 2n minus 4 into 90 degree, where n is the number of sides of the traverse. Second check is the sum of measured exterior angles should be equal to 2n plus 4 into 90 degree. Then third check is the algebraic sum of deflection angle should be equal to 360 degree. Then right hand deflection is considered positive and left hand deflection is considered as negative. So these are the assumptions which are to be considered while considering the while applying the check on angular measurement. Also, whenever we are considering the traverse, there are certain checks on linear measurements. First check is the line should be measured twice in different direction or in opposite direction, and both measurements should tally. Second check is linear measurement should be taken by the Stadia method. The measurement by chaining and by Stadia method should tally. So here we are going to see what are the different checks on open traverse, but as per the closed traverse there are no checks available, but following methods can be adopted so that the check on open traverse can be carried out. First is taking cutoff lines and second is taking an auxiliary point. This slide refers to check on linear measurement, and the first method is taking cutoff lines. The figure represents the open traverse where the AB is the first line, BC is second line, CD is third line, D is fourth line, and EF is last line of our open traverse. And station A, B, C, D, E and F, at all these stations the reference north direction is shown with green in color, and with respect to the reference direction north, the angles are taken with respect to the traverse leg AB, BC, CD, DE and EF, and they are shown in a clockwise direction. And whatever the angle which is shown, that is called bearing of line AB, BC, CD, DE and EF. Here station A is one of the starting point of survey line, as well as D is intermediate point and F is also last point. So here AD and DF, these are the two lines which are called as cutoff lines, and for these cutoff lines we can measure the distance from A to D, we can measure the distance between D to F. Similarly, it is possible that we can measure the bearing of line AD. Also from station D, it is possible that we can measure the back bearing of line DA. So whenever we are considering the cutoff line AD, the exact difference between forebearing and back bearing of line AD should be equal to 180 degree. Similarly, when we consider the another cutoff line, that is DF, again for the line DF we can take the forebearing of DF. Similarly, after setting the instrument at F, again we can record the back bearing of DF, and whenever we are going to consider the difference between forebearing of DF and back bearing of DF, it should be exactly equal to 180 degree. So here the length and bearing of the cutoff lines measured should be measured accurately, and after plotting the traverse, the distance and bearing are noted from the map. These distances and bearing should tally with the actual records from the field. So this is the method, that is taking cutoff lines. Then this particular figure is going to represent the open traverse and we are going to consider, or we are going to check the linear measurement by considering the auxiliary point. In the given figure, P is a permanent point, and that particular permanent point can be called as auxiliary point. And therefore A, B, C, D, E, it is a open traverse, and N is the reference north direction at a place. All the reference direction north directions are located at A, B, C, D, E. They are parallel to each other. It is going to represent the north direction at a place, and whenever we take the bearing in a forward direction, then the dotted blue line indicates the forebearing of line AB. Similarly, whenever we are going to consider the forebearing of BC, from reference north direction to the line BC, whatever the angle we are getting, that is called the forebearing of line BC. Similarly, whenever we are going to consider the forebearing of line CD, Then from reference direction, north direction, up to the line CD, whatever the angle we are getting, that is called forebearing of line CD. Similarly, for DE, the angle between the reference north direction and the line DE is the forebearing of line D. So whenever we come across such type of open traverse, then on one of the side of the traverse you may consider any auxiliary station like P, and you can join these lines and you can measure the distances AP, PB, PC, PD, PE. Also it is possible that you may record one of the forebearing of line from P with other stations, that is like E, D, B, A, which is going to represent the forebearing of PE, PD, PC, PB and PA. So that by making use of that, it is possible to plot the given traverse very accurately. In this slide we are going to see the one of the important term in compass surveying, that is azimuth. Whenever we consider any survey line, let us refer the diagram where O is the position where the compass is set up, and A, B, C, D, these are the 4 survey lines. Let us say OA, OB, OC, OD. Whenever we consider these lines, then azimuth is defined as horizontal angles turned clockwise from the reference line, which is in between 0 to 360 degree. For example, when you consider the line OA, its azimuth is 70 degree. When you consider the survey line OB, its azimuth is 145 degree. When you consider the line OC, its azimuth is 235 degree. And when you consider the line OD, its azimuth is 330 degree. Generally the angles should be measured only from north. This slide refers to quadrantal bearing, the bearing of a line measured clockwise or anti-clockwise from north pole or south pole, whichever is nearer to the line towards the east or west is known as quadrantal bearing. This system consists of 4 quadrants, that is northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest. The values lies between 0 to 90 degree. So therefore in the figure, the quadrantal bearing of a line OA, it is N alpha E, whereas the reduced bearing of line OD is N delta W, whereas the reduced bearing of line OC is S gamma W, whereas the reduced bearing of line OB is S beta east. Reduced bearing, when the whole circle bearing of a line is converted to the quadrantal bearing, it is termed as reduced bearing. When the whole circle bearing of a line is converted to quadrantal bearing, it is termed as reduced bearing. Then below diagram refers the forebearing and back bearing. So at station A, the instrument is set up and reference north direction is shown. Similarly at B, they are parallel to each other. So therefore, for a line AB, the angle theta is taken, and that angle theta is nothing but it is the forebearing of line AB. Similarly, after recording the forebearing of line AB, the instrument is shifted at B, and in the backward direction, theta 1 is the angle which is taken with reference to north. So therefore, theta 1 is called back bearing of a line. In WCB, the difference between forebearing and back bearing should be exactly 180 degree. Therefore, back bearing equal to forebearing plus or minus 180 degree. Use positive sign when forebearing is less than 180 degree. Use negative sign when forebearing is greater than 180 degree. So here we are going to see what are the different checks on open traverse. But As per the closed towers, there are no checks available, but following methods can be adopted so that the check on open towers can be carried out. First is taking cutoff lines, and second is taking an auxiliary point. So in this slide we are going to see how to solve problem when the forebearing of first line is given and the regular pentagon is given, and how to calculate the forebearing of other lines. Here first of all we are going to calculate the included angle or interior angle of a pentagon using the relationship 2n minus 4 into 90 degree divided by 5. So it is 108. So forebearing of AB equal to 30 degree it is given. Therefore we can calculate back bearing of AB. So back bearing of AB equal to forebearing of AB plus 180 degree. So it is 210 plus 108 plus 108, that is inclined angle. So forebearing of BC equal to 318 degree. Similarly we can calculate forebearing of CD equal to back bearing of BC plus angle C. So it becomes 246 degree. Similarly forebearing of D equal to back bearing of CD plus angle D. Similarly forebearing of EA equal to back bearing of DE minus XTJ angle. So that way we can calculate the forebearing of all other lines in a closed towers. Just you should know how to calculate the bearing of line by making use of included angle. Thank you. For any difficulty you may contact me on my mobile number 9421282622. Thank you.